Wally here, looking over another item from my game collection, and I'll give you stories or anecdotes behind each item I own. And today I want to look over Nintendo Switch's Sega Genesis Classics, over 50 classic games. It is a compilation of Sega's great games and some maybe not so great, but classic games of a bygone era of the 90s. And some of these games meant stuff to me because I got to play them growing up, and a lot of them did not, and I thought I missed out on them. And so I finally get to play this. And what I mean by finally is I keep on buying this Sega Genesis Classics. I feel like I am a sucker. I am not a sucker, of course, but I do feel like I think growing up as a Nintendo kid, I missed out on a lot of these great games. And, I didn't get to play Sega Genesis a whole lot. So whenever I had the opportunity, I would buy more and more Sega Genesis games. For instance, on the GameCube, I bought the Sonic collections. For the Nintendo 3DS, I know I bought the Streets of Rage series, and so forth. And even on the PC, Amazon had a great deal years and years ago, which I was able to pick up basically this collection for, I don't know, like $7 or $8. And it's PC, it's not Steam, it's not any clients, it's just Windows. And even then, I was like, you know what? I want a more comfortable, more, not efficient, but easy way to play these titles without booting up a computer. And finally, I bought this on the Nintendo Switch not too long ago. I think I got it at probably a Best Buy out of town. I was just waiting for this collection to be about $20. $30 for it is already a steal, but at $20 USD, that is a killer deal that I had to jump in and pick this up. So when I was a child, or not child, during my childhood, when I was younger, my brother lent us his Sega Genesis, and that was when I was able to play a lot of the Sega games like Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2. I got to play Sonic Spinball and various other titles that are not on this collection. But I know growing up, I heard a lot of good things about Gunstar Heroes. I think we did get to play Golden Axe and maybe a Echo the Dolphin. So I did get to fool around with a bit of these games that are on this collection, and some that were not. But growing up, I heard great things about the Streets of Rage series. But I was, again, a Nintendo kid, and I played a little bit at the arcades. So I was playing Capcom's Final Fight instead. I played Ninja Gaiden on NES, but of course you have Shinobi over here on the Sega side. And there's just tons of other games like Vector Man and Toe Jam and Earl, just series that are talked about to this day that I really wanted to try out and play. And this is a great way to do it. There is some lag in here. So you may notice that if you're very sensitive to, pressing a button, then, there's time in between pressing it and actions happening. It feels worse in some games depending upon the genre, but overall I found it serviceable just to want to sit back and play some classic games from yesteryear, on the Nintendo Switch. And that's it's really cool having it this many classic games. So the games I'm really looking forward to playing on this to completion is Beyond Oasis. I remember seeing this. It's kind of like a role-playing game that really reminded me of The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. I remember seeing the screenshots of this in gaming magazines like EGM and GamePro back in the day. So I'm really looking forward to going through that. I recently played through Streets of Rage, I think 1 and maybe 2 on the 3DS or whatever the Streets of Rage that are available there. But I want to go through the entire series 1, 2, and 3 again, especially 4 came out on Switch recently. The Sonic the Hedgehogs, I have not played those in years. I remember really loving 2 and 3, so I'll probably jump into that. And Gunstar Heroes, I haven't played that maybe since early 2000s, with a friend, and he really enjoyed that game, and I got to play a little bit of it. And of course there's Golden Axe, maybe I'll try those out. But there's a lot of stuff good in here. There's a lot of good stuff in here, I should say, like Phantasy Star, the Phantasy Star games. I was a big fan of the Phantasy Star Online game, PSO, for GameCube, so I would love to jump back and see the origin of this series. And I feel like no collection is complete without some sort of Sega compilation. And, they've been releasing these now for a long time. And I'm glad they keep on doing it. I mean, they even had that Sega Genesis Mini. I have yet to pick that up, but I will get it and add it to my collection and play it in due time. So, yeah, this is a great game. Over 50 classic games, I should say, in one package that I'm glad to have. In the comments, let me know if you are a Sega fan, if you grew up during the Super Nintendo, Genesis, console war eras, the original console wars. Let me know if you used to play Nintendo over Sega or vice versa, and what your favorite Sega franchise is. Is it Sonic? Is it the Phantasy Star? Is it something that's not in this collection? I would love to hear all about it. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me ramble, and I'll see you in the next video.